Hey everybody, Darren Rivers here, the Northwest Realtor, and this is your market update for April. Can you believe we're in April 2024 already? Anyway, hey, I'm going to get into a topic that has very much been in the news lately, and that is all about this NARs, National Association of Realtors lawsuit settlement. And man, just be careful what you're listening to in the media, because it is all skewed, especially here in the Northwest MLS area that we are in this Puget Sound area. So first things first, and then we're going to get into the NARS settlement and kind of what that means and how it affects us. But first things first is the Northwest MLS is not owned by NARs. So their lawsuit settlement does not affect how we do business whatsoever. So for us, it's going to be business as usual in this area. But let's get into the NARS thing, and there's a couple things that the Northwest MLS has done over the last few years to be proactive about this. This lawsuit was first filed in 2019, so it's been 5 years, and our MLS here has done many things to kind of get up to what the standard should be, and we're light years ahead. So NARS talks about how real estate commissions are negotiable, and part of the settlement is the negotiations of who pays the real estate commissions for both the sellers and the buyers. Well, here in the Northwest MLS, since I've been a member of it, it's always been that way. That is in our listing agreements. Our listing agreements specifically states what percentage of the commission goes to the listing broker and what percentage of commissions go to the buyer's agent. That is not new, and that is not going to change. And that is in large part what this settlement is all about, is just disclosing all that, which we've been doing all along. So that doesn't affect us at all. It talks about how commissions are negotiable. They've always been negotiable. Now I don't know what other term to use, because there is no such thing as an industry standard, although there kind of is an industry standard. The industry standard is somewhere usually for single family homes between 5 and 6%. Now that changes for different reasons. For me, myself, the higher the price point, those commissions don't have to necessarily be all the way up to 6. And if for really expensive properties, if you look at, $10, $15 million properties around like Lake Washington and things like that, none of those are going to be at 5 or 6%, because those commissions are already so large. So sometimes they're down to like 4%, 2% each side. On the other hand, if you're looking at vacant land, which I've done for, $100,000 or $80,000, sometimes the commissions are like 10%, 5% aside. And what people don't realize, it doesn't matter if you're selling a $100,000 piece of property or a $10 million mansion, the work that goes into it for the real estate agents is virtually identical. It's the same amount of time, it's the same paperwork, it's the same due diligence, all of that stuff. So there is no standard, it's all negotiated. There just kind of seems to be a norm, I guess, that most of us agents try to stay within, unless you're one of these discount brokerages, and then, well, you're paying for a discount brokerage and you get discount services. Trust me on that one. So nothing's really going to change in the Northwest. None of this stuff for NARS settlement takes place until July. And just keep in mind, whenever you purchased your home, you did not directly pay for any real estate commissions at all. Now, it might be built into the price of the home, so it's kind of part of your mortgage and things like that, but the seller pays for the real estate commissions out of the seller's proceeds. So whenever you bought your house, you didn't really pay for my services. And whenever you go to sell your house, well, that's when those costs come in. Most of the time, you can count on about 7% to sell a single family home. That is between real estate commissions, state excise tax, title escrow fees, things like that. It's about that, give or take a little bit, but that's kind of what you're looking at. And there's a couple other things that people don't realize is, if you're a VA buyer, VA buyers, per the federal rules for using a VA loan, are not allowed to pay their real estate agent real estate commissions. The seller has to do it. I mean, it has to. Otherwise, the real estate agent's working for free, and we do this for a living. None of us are going to work for free, to be frank. So that's it. I just want to put some misnomers to bed as far as this NARS settlement. For us here in the Northwest MLS in the Puget Sound region, it is business as usual. We are not owned by NARs. We are members of NARs, but we are not owned by NARs. So that lawsuit and that settlement does not affect the way we do business whatsoever. So it is business as usual moving forward. That is my April update. If you have any questions about this or want some clarifications, feel free to reach out to me, and I will see you next month.